spot. But I'm just happy you're here, so I'm not, it's the nice mayor.
I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate that. Well, good morning and welcome to all of you. We all have several things that we want to discuss today. First, just some highlights on the budget. Certainly, we kicked off our budget just this past week for the public's view of that. We encourage the public to continue to stay involved. There's a couple of things we want to mention regarding that. The budget was developed after sourcing the input of citizens through meetings, social media town halls, and local district advisory board meetings. You can also access all of this information online at wichita.gov. We will formally be adopting the final budget in August. But in the meantime, I want to invite citizens to review the proposed budget that we have placed out there and give us your feedback. It makes a difference. We want to be as open and collaborative as possible, and hearing from citizens help guide us to best serve the needs of our community. You can send your feedback via email or by calling the council office or on social media. We want to make it easy for you. Now let's talk about FastPass, because I don't believe any of you have went out and gotten your FastPass yet. It is now part of our state law that you can apply for a FastPass. In the spirit of openness, we are trying to allow people to access City Hall easier. Certainly those of you that come in here on multiple occasions every week. The FastPass is an access card for those who have regular business at City Hall, pass a background check, and promise that they will not bring prohibited firearms and weapons inside or other contraband into the building. So this is why we put FastPass near the top of our state legislative agenda. We worked through this issue in cooperation with our local delegation and with Sedgwick County, and we are gratified that FastPass is now law. If you're interested, here's what you need to do. Starting Tuesday the 19th, come to City Hall, fill out an application, and pay a small fee. The fee for most people will be $25. According to the state law, those who have already passed a state background check and obtained a concealed carry permit don't need a background check. So their fee will be $15. Allow a minimum of 30 days for processing. When approved, a card will be issued and valid for 1 year. Same process for renewal. Apply 30 days before the access card expires. So we are allowing this access card into City Hall for most people $25 for 1 year. Cards are not transferable, since access must be attributable to specific individuals. This means that each member of the media, each employee of the city vendors, so on, must apply for their own license. So the camera people have to have their own license. You can't pass the pass back and forth. Every day, hundreds of individuals come to City Hall. They're required to go through a security checkpoint wherein they must pass through a metal detector, empty their pockets, remove jackets and belts. You guys know the drill better than anyone. On heavy traffic days, this can take sometimes upwards of 15 minutes. If individuals go to lunch and then return, they have to go through the same process all over again. We're trying to make it easier for people to access City Hall that do business in City Hall often. We're invested in having a secure and safe building, but we also know that people who do business frequently at City Hall deserve a way to balance security and common sense access. If individuals can come more easily and pass through airport security lines with a background check, then they should be able to do the same at City Hall. The safety and security of citizens and employees at City Hall is of the utmost importance. but we believe that taking precautions to do security checks for those individuals applying for the Fast Pass will balance safety and access and allow us to continue our efforts to better serve our community. I keep calling it Fast Pass. Again, it's going to be known as the Citizen Access Card, CAC, Citizen Access Card. And so we encourage all of those that would like to do business in City Hall on a regular basis and speed up the process of getting through security, go fill out your application starting, again, Tuesday, the 19th. And I believe those applications will be at the security desk on the first floor. So you'll be able to pick them up conveniently right there. I don't know that there's any harm in taking extra applications back to your coworkers and having them fill them out, but they still have to come down and get fingerprinted, I think, and some of those other procedures once they fill them out. So it's probably not going to speed it up too much by taking their application to them, but I suppose if that's more convenient, we're good with that. Since it's election season, I want to talk about the yard signs and city limits. With 2016 elections approaching, we'd like to remind citizens and candidates that the city's sign code, and I'm not sure reciting it will do much good, but people can look it up, Title 24.04.215 of the city code prohibits all signs, including political signs, on the city's right-of-way or on public property. The city rights-of-way are all parts of a street lying between adjacent property lines, including the vehicle travel area, and may include a public sidewalk, and unpaved areas between the travel lanes and adjacent property lines. Examples of public property are public buildings, parks, drainage ways, and creeks. Signs are not allowed on city rights-of-way for various reasons. Not only are they unsightly and can contribute to urban blight, but more importantly, they can present a real public safety hazard. Temporary signs improperly placed in city rights-of-way or on public property can cause side obstructions and distractions, endangering motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Block sight lines at driveways and intersections, endangering motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Blow into traffic, possibly causing property damage or accidents. Pose a hazard to utility workers. And for these reasons, no temporary signs, including political signs, are allowed on city rights-of-way or on public property. We appreciate your attention and cooperation in helping keep our city both clean and safe. Should you have any questions, you can contact our zoning, licensing, sign section staff at, of course, 316 area code 268-4479, and they will be happy to assist you. The last thing I want to mention before we open up for questions is Neighborhood Night Out. I'd also like to encourage you to register if you're thinking about having a neighborhood night out, so many of the council members can try and attend. We look at those lists and try and get around town. Neighborhood Night Out, formerly celebrated as National Night Out and celebrated as Safe Communities, is an annual event that promotes neighborhood safety and combats crime by encouraging neighbors to get to know each other through neighborhood parties, picnics, cookouts, and other social gatherings over one designated evening. To encourage participation, the city will waive park fees for groups who want to hold their gathering in a neighborhood park. While supplies last, the city will also provide barricades at no charge to groups that want to block off a portion of their street at their event. To request barricades or reserve a park, call 350-3400. And we want neighborhoods to participate. We want the community to participate. And I know that our Police Chief Ramsey always has his folks out there in numbers at participating along with first responders. You see at most of these activities. And there's a couple of council members that try and make every single neighborhood night out in their district, which is kind of amazing. My goal would be to eat one hot dog at every neighborhood night out. So at this point, we will open it up to questions. A challenge. I think I'll challenge the city manager because look how skinny he is. He wouldn't be able to eat 2 hot dogs.
When is it?
Neighborhood night out is, let me back up. I don't have that date here. Do we have the date of neighborhood? August 9th. Going to have to work on my communication skills. Besides neighborhood night out and hot dogs, did we cover it all? Are you all going to go and apply for a citizens access pass?
Tell us again why it's important to. Tell us again why it's important to participate in neighborhood night out and any gatherings that are to get to know your neighbors.
We truly believe that the city is better served when neighbors know each other, when neighbors know their police, their community police, their first responders. When we get out of our homes occasionally and go visit with one another, we're just a better community. I think by nature, most of us are very social people, and we want to build those bonds, and it's hard to build those bonds when we're not out there visiting with our neighbors on a regular basis. And I know we all lead very busy lives, and it's difficult in the hustle and bustle of raising kids and working for a living and doing all of the things that you have to do so that your family can continue to enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. But I think it's also important for us to carve time out so that we can appreciate our neighbors and those that are around us. So we will continue to encourage those opportunities.
And given that there is a barbecue set for Sunday,
yes,
regarding the protests,
yes,
can you talk about why it's important to participate and why you want folks to be out there?
Well, this isn't too much different than getting to know your neighbors, obviously. And this is an opportunity for our police and people of all different neighborhoods to come together and get to know each other as individuals and work past those issues that divide us and see if we can't figure out a way that we can't all find that mutual ground and come together as Wichitans and Kansans and do the things that we do so well in this community and help one another. And so I love the message. I know that Chief Ramsey was working on this. I can tell you this, that all of the funds that will be spent that will help this neighborhood picnic will be donated funds. So the city's not spending their general fund budget, even though I would argue that it's a worthwhile cause. We are fortunate to have some generous people step up and provide all of the supplies and the cost of putting together this very large picnic, and we hope the community comes together.
And given that the latest protest in Wichita happened just a couple of nights ago, and as the police chief mentioned, it was a peaceful protest, your reaction as the mayor of Wichita?
Well, certainly I'm happy that the chief has been spearheading the effort to continue to interact with people in our community to ensure the safety of everyone. And we certainly are very happy that we're finding, in at least Wichita, that our protests are peaceful, that people aren't out there with animosity towards one another, and we're trying to come together as a community, understanding individuals that have different points of view and different needs in their community. And so we are encouraging this gathering. I have called some friends of mine to help them step up and contribute financially to make sure that this is something that's meaningful, and they were happy to do it. I will have a list of all of the people that are supporting this financially, hopefully by the end of the day, and we believe that it'll be very successful. Again, our police chief is something that he and his staff have come up with, and another reason for us to continue to love the leadership that Chief Ramsey's been having in this community. No questions for the city manager because he likes tough questions. We'll go fill out your application for your access pass, and that way next time, Ashley, you won't be late. Thank you.